Hi, and welcome back to Sustainability Matters. My name is Nicole Mohan, and I'm RSM's National Sustainability Lead. In another historic moment for sustainability reporting, the Taskforce on Nature-Related Financial Disclosures, or TNFD, has recently released its final recommendations. It's safe to bet that the TNFD framework will make a big impact on organisations all over the world, which means there's no better time to get familiar with it.
Hello, my name is James Henderson and I'm a Senior Consultant in the ESG and Climate Services team. In this video, we'll be discussing the new TNFD framework, what this may mean for your organisation and how you can prepare for the disclosures.
What is the TNFD? Today, most businesses do not typically account for or disclose nature-related risks and opportunities. Analysis conducted by the World Bank has found that over half the world's total GDP, nearly 70 trillion of economic value generated, is highly or moderately dependent on nature and its services. Which makes one thing clear: organisations that don't factor nature-related and biodiversity risks into their business decisions and activities are setting themselves up to fail from a long-term sustainability perspective.
Now, you might be thinking, why is this of a concern to me? My organisation doesn't rely on natural resources or the natural environment on a day-to-day basis. Well, it's important to understand that the impacts of nature go far beyond natural resources and the materials that go into a product or service. The dynamic and complex variables of nature interact in ways that can provide what is described as ecosystem services. These services provide, amongst many other things, the water we use, the food and nutrients we consume, and the very air that we breathe. Disruption to the natural order of things, such as through biodiversity loss, can throw off this natural balance, which would cause unprecedented global disruptions to supply chains, agricultural and manufacturing production, and human and planet health.
In response to this urgent need for action and for organisations to factor in natural hazards into their business risk management, the TNFD was established in 2021 and builds on the model developed by the Taskforce on Climate-Related Financial Disclosures, or the TCFD. So in September this year, the TNFD released its final recommendations, which provides companies of all sizes with a risk management and disclosure framework to identify, assess, manage, and where appropriate, disclose nature-related issues. The language, structure, and approach of the recommendations are consistent with the TCFD and also the International Sustainability Standards Board, ISSB for short, to enable integrated climate and nature-related reporting.
Although the TNFD is currently voluntary, the framework has already been received international, political and regulatory support. Considering the TCFD is already mandatory in some jurisdictions and that it forms the architecture of the recently released IFRS Sustainability S2 climate-related standards, it is likely that the TNFD framework is also going to influence future disclosure requirements. It would be safe to expect that a future IFRS sustainability standard will be designed specific to biodiversity risks and opportunities. What are the TNFD's recommended disclosures? The TNFD framework encourages organisations to disclose information based on 4 key pillars of the TCFD framework, which you might already be familiar with. The TNFD framework covers both nature-related risks and business opportunities under the 4 pillars of governance, strategy, risk and impact management, and metrics and targets. Firstly, governance. This is disclosing the organisation's governance and oversight of nature-related dependencies, impacts, risks and opportunities, and the management's role in assessing and managing these. Strategy. This is disclosing the actual and potential impacts of nature-related risks and opportunities on the organisation's business, strategy, and financial planning, where such information is material. Risk and impact management. This is describing the processes used by the organisation to identify its nature-related dependencies, impacts, risks and opportunities in its direct operations and its broader value chain, and also what actions are taken to manage these. Metrics and targets. This is disclosure of the metrics and targets used by a business to assess and manage their nature-related risks and opportunities. and the dependencies and impacts on the environment.
So, how can you prepare? To ensure that any business is able to disclose according to the TNFD framework, there is a risk and opportunity assessment framework known as the LEAP approach. Think of it as the how to succeed with your nature-related risk disclosures on the 4 pillars just mentioned by James. So the LEAP approach involves 4 core phases of analytical activity. So L, locate your interface with nature. E, evaluate your dependencies and impacts. A, assess your risk and opportunities. And P, prepare to respond to nature-related risk and opportunities and to also report to investors.
Once you've completed this LEAP approach, we also recommend undertaking the following. Firstly, stakeholder engagement. Create a stakeholder engagement strategy for engaging with key stakeholders such as investors, clients, customers, suppliers, researchers, First Nations-led organisations and local communities to identify and assess nature-related risks and opportunities. Scenario analysis. Conduct scenario analysis to assess and stress test how biodiversity risks could strategically or financially affect your business. This will help you better understand your business's nature-related dependencies and support the incorporation of nature into your strategy, risk management, and organisational decision-making. Scenario analysis equips you with the ability to visualise and better prepare for nature-related impacts and opportunities in the future. Metrics and targets. Define measurable metrics and targets to track your progress in addressing nature-related risks and opportunities. The TNFD has developed a suite of recommended indicators and metrics to support the disclosures. Disclosure roadmap. Develop a disclosure roadmap for nature-related disclosures that align with your organisation's and stakeholders' priorities. Adjust existing reporting processes to integrate the required TNFD disclosure procedures.
Hopefully, this video has shed some light on the TNFD framework and disclosures and how important it is for your organisation to begin embarking on the journey now. Thank you for tuning in to Sustainability Matters, and we hope you enjoyed this clip. Please feel free to reach out to us or your local advisor for more information. Thank you.